Hey everybody, today's video is Blues Budget Brews, and today's brew is Arahbo Roar of the World for Commander. For those of you who have never seen any of my videos before, welcome. I am Dave with Blue Bears Games. For those of you who are returning, thank you for the support. It's really appreciated. And no matter where you're coming from, please go ahead and hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber yet, please go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps make me feel better. And no matter what, please do me a favor and hit the share button. Go ahead and put them on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, wherever you can share it. But anyway, let's get into the deck. So Arahbo Roar of the World is one of the Eminence commanders from, I believe it was Commander 2017 or 18. I can't remember which one it is. So Eminence is one of the more powerful ones. It has Edgar and Urdrago or Urdragon, whatever they named him. So let me go over what Arahbo does. This is going to be cat tribal, and we all love our cats. I make the budget brew decks, my $20 budget decks for beginners. It's my crazy cat lady theme. This one is the second version of Arahbo I've made for my budget decks in Commander, and this one's a little different than the previous one. So the first one I made was equipment based. This one will be aura based. So let me get this out of here. And this is gonna be my first video on a deck where I do the new way I'm doing it. So hopefully this goes well. So Arahbo is a 5/5 for 5. And it's a cat avatar. But the eminence is at the beginning of combat on your turn if Arahbo Roar of the World is in the command zone or on the battlefield. Another target cat you control gets +3/+3 until end of turn, and whenever another cat you control attacks, you may pay one generic, a green, and a white, and if you do, that cat gains trample and gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is its power, so it doubles its power. And then it adds to its toughness, whatever its power was, most likely going to double it, so if it was a 2/2, it becomes a 4/4 and all that stuff. So, I'll get into the deck now. So first things first is lands, and again, like I did last time, this is my new way I'm doing. I'm just gonna, if you guys want to see what a card does, just pause the video and you can go from there. So we went with Blossoming Sands, Elfheim Palace, Grey Pelt Refuge, Selesnya Guild Gate, a Tranquil Expanse, a Selesnya Sanctuary, an Evolving Wilds like I put in every deck, and a Terramorphic Expanse. It helps thin out your deck for land draws later and helps mana fix and ramp at the same time. It's not really a ramp because you can only play one land per turn, and it doesn't get you additional lands, but at least it helps get what you need. Tranquil Thicket, so that you can cycle it away if you draw it late in the game. Excuse me. And a Secluded Step, Slippery Karst, and Drifting Meadow. Those are all just to cycle away if you get them later in the game, or play them when you get them early. Blighted Woodland is actual ramp. It actually is a land that goes and gets 2. And Blighted Step, it's because this deck's going to have a little bit of life gain theme to it. And a Rogue's Passage, because you can actually make a Arahbo get pretty big pretty quickly, especially in this style of deck. This is not a Voltron style deck, but it can be if you need it to be. And then the rest are just plains and forests. And I think I failed to mention this in the last budget video. All of my decks have a clickable and a hoverable deck list in the description. So you click on it, it takes you to MTG Goldfish, and you can go ahead and hover over top or click on, depending on what device you're using, and you can see what the cards do there too. This is the ramp section. Gate Creeper Vine, a Rampant Growth, an Untamed Wilds, a Journey of Discovery. Not really ramp per se, at least it's not cheap anyway. It can be if you can entwine it. Beneath the Sands, you can cycle it away if you don't already have enough lands. Grow from the Ashes, an Explosive Vegetation, and a Seek the Horizons, which again, while not technically ramp, this is actually mana fixing. It helps get you, this one gets you 3 basic lands out of your deck and puts them into your hand, so at least you have a hand size to go with it as well. So now we get into the critters, the little cute kitties. There's a lot of them, because we're in Cat Tribal, and I want to this deck is making sure that you have plenty of cats on the board. So, a downshifted from rare to a common with Savannah Lions, Trained Caracal, and you'll see Lifelink a lot. A Loam Lion because we're in blue, white-green, and with the forest out it gets bigger. Woody Bander, or Wily Bander, because it can gain indestructible, so it can stick around. Feral Prowler, because card draw on white-green is pretty hard, so I had to go ahead and figure out ways to do that, so you'll see that too. Initiate's Companion, Long Tusk Cub, Ajani's Pridemate, Ajani's Sunstriker, more lifelink, Enlightened Ascetic. This one's because it was not just a cat, but it also went and got the theme to the deck, which is enchantments. Feldor Cub for a little bit of defense, so that you can, well, utility I guess it would be, so you can go ahead and destroy an enchantment on your opponent's side if you need to. Leonin Relic Hunter, more utility or defense if you will. Leonin Sky Hunter for the flying, because first things first, if you ever see a cat flying, get the hell out of the way. But it's a flying cat, and one of the weaknesses to a lot of decks is not being able to get evasion in or block those who have evasion. Arahbo Sun Guide, more life gain. Arahbo's Explorer goes and ramps you into more planes, which is always nice. King of the Pride is one of the anthems in the deck. It's the cat that gives other cats +2/+1. It's a really good cat. Kemba Skyguard for more flying and life gain. Hunter Skirmisher. I played on the Xbox One version of Magic, and this guy is a champ. He's an auto remove as soon as possible, because the double strike, especially if you're buffing it, gets out of control. The other anthem, Feline Sovereign, 3 to cast 2/3, and it gives all cats +1/+1. And then I don't know how often the protection for dogs is going to actually matter for anything. But the other thing is whenever one or more cats you control deal combat damage to a player, you can also destroy up to one target artifact or enchantment that player controls. So this one's a really good, solid choice for a cat tribal deck. Pride Malkin, Generous Stray for more card draw, Pouncing Cheetah for a, oh, you have no creatures, oops, I have one that's got 3 power. Phantom Tiger, Cat Warriors for Forest Walk, and it's one of the more unlikely things you'll see in a commander game where you'll see somebody with a land walk ability. This can be super evasive, especially with the rise in Simic and a lot of people playing blue and green. The fact that they're playing green allows this thing to get through unblocked. Cub Warden's the first opportunity I had to use Mutate, especially since everything's a cat in here. You can mutate onto any of it. It also has lifelink as well, and it helps create more tokens. Or create tokens that are cats. Huntmaster Liger, same thing with the Mutate. It was my first opportunity, so I wanted to take it. Basri's Acolyte, more lifelink. Sky Hunter Patrol, so more flying. Springing Tiger. Threshold, if you don't know what that is, it's when you have at least 7 or more cards in your graveyard, and you might possibly get to that pretty quickly in this deck, depending on how you play it. It gets a bonus. Stalking Tiger, so I believe that this has built-in menace. Can't be blocked by more than one creature. No, it has reverse menace. Alright, Mist Leopard for the Shroud. It's a 3/2 with Shroud. The non-cat in this deck is Eidolon of Blossoms. The reason this is in here is for massive card draw. So it's a 2/2 for 4 and has Constellation, and it says whenever Eidolon of Blossoms itself or another enchantment enters the battlefield under control, you draw a card, and there are plenty of ways for that to happen in this deck. It was the way for me to get card draw in here. Wild Leotau. Don't let the one upkeep cost fool anybody. It's actually, because it's a 4 to cast 5/4, it gets pretty big. Keeper of Fables, one of the best cats I think they've created in a long time. More card draw for this. It's a really nicely costed card. It's 5 to cast for a 4/5, and then it says whenever one or more non-humans. So that also includes, for some reason, the Eidolon, because it's a spirit, not a human. That whenever they deal damage to a player, you can draw a card. So again, more card draw. The other Anthem-style creature is Regal Caracal, 5 to cast 3/3. All other cats get +1/+1. And lifelink, by the way. So again, more lifelink, so more life gain. And then it comes into play, you create 2 1/1 cats. Bronze Hide Lion, this was an iffy choice for me. I wish this was the one from Return to Ravnica, the green-white one. I don't have any more, but this is a solid replacement if you need it. And then Horned Cheetah. It's not technically lifelink. I don't know why there's a difference here, but when I look it up, it still doesn't say it has lifelink. It just says whenever it deals damage, you gain that much life. So I know that lifelink is, I don't know. It's just worded differently, but it's not considered lifelink. So those are the creatures for this deck. Not a bad set of options, especially when it comes to cats. They've made cats so much better lately. The next section, excuse me, we're going to go over is the auras, buffs, enchantments, whatever you whatever you want to call them. And these are, in my opinion, better than the equipment route. While the equipments do stick around, I have a little, if the creature dies, enchantments go away. However, I have a way around that. Not all of them have the ability to do it, but I'll explain. So Ethereal Armors first. It's the best. This and the next one, I believe, are the two best auras for a deck like this. So what I was talking about was I tried to choose a lot of enchantments that were auras that had the ability to come back. So for instance, this one you can pay 4 and return it from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to a creature. So if the creature died, you can still get it back. And it also gives flying for this one. The other one that's kind of like Ethereal Armor, that was one of the two that's the best of the auras that I believe, in my opinion, is All That Glitters, because it's almost the same thing. This one gives the creature +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment you control, whereas the Ethereal Armor just gives +1/+1 for each enchantment you control. But that one also gives first strike, so some of the defense in here is also like pacifisms, good for defense, compulsory rest, good for defense, and they're all auras so that you get the buffs. Oblivion Ring, it's almost an auto include in every deck that's white. Revoke Privileges, Luminous Bonds, they all do the same thing. Choking Restraints, it makes it so creatures can't attack or block. Caught in the Brights, and Bound in Silence, and Arrest. They all do the same thing. Glorious Anthem, again, more buffs from enchantments. This one just gives all creatures you control +1/+1 across the board. Vine Weft, another one where it gives +1/+1, but then for a green and 4 generic, you can return it from a graveyard to your hand. So, again, where the equipment stays on the field if a creature dies, at least you can get some of these back. Same thing with Talons of Wildwood. This one gives +1/+1 and trample, and then for 3, you can return it from your graveyard to your hand. So, those are the buffs, enchantments, and defensive enchantments to help. So when you have out Eidolon Blossoms, you get the benefit of drawing a card for playing them. Plus, with the simple returning all those enchantments to your hand thing, because they don't all come back into play, you can recast them to draw a card again from Eidolon Blossoms. This is the last section. It's the buff and utility section. So all green decks that are creature-based or tribal-based usually do stuff like this, which is Overcome, which gives the creatures +2/+2 and trample, and Overrun, which gives them +3/+3 and trample. So that's just to help end the game. These are what helps end the games. If we're not in budget, it's things like, I don't know, Craterhoof. But for budgetary reasons, we go with the cheaper versions, which are these two. Naturalize, which I may actually at some point, either before or after, this deck sells, I might change Naturalize out for, or I think it's Return to Nature, which gives a third option for the same price. And then the little extra that I threw in here was Ronus's Monument. It's 3 to cast Legendary Artifact. It makes your green creature spells cost 1 less to cast, but whenever you cast any creature spell, doesn't matter what color, target creature you control gets +2/+2 and trample, so it helps to get you that little extra bit. So a lot of buffing in this deck. Again, I did make another version of this deck, but in equipment, and that one's sold. So unfortunately, I don't have that one anymore to bring out and show you guys anything. But at least that one's sold. This one, I believe, will actually have the same ability. I think this one's a little bit better in my opinion than the other one. It has better cats than the previous version. But that's the deck. I always ask at the end of my videos a couple things, but for this one I'm going to ask a different thing. I have started selling on Facebook recently, and I've been super busy with that. The popularity of my mystery packs that I sell at my conventions has blown up on Facebook, and I've had to make a whole bunch more. If you ever get a chance to look them up, go to the Facebook page and you'll see the picture of what I'm talking about. I also have been selling decks through Facebook Marketplace at this point. I tried to put it up on my Facebook page, the Blue Bears Game site. It gained a little bit of traction, but then when I, started selling the mystery packs, people started asking about decks, and they started going. So I'm busy for all intents and purposes, busier than I've been in a long time. The last venture I had, which was, video gaming and then selling my stuff that I make in game, that venture has ended. So now I can focus more on the Magic side of things, and I'm enjoying it more, but it's a lot more busy work. So if you have a chance, go take a look at it. Go to the Facebook page and you'll see my listings there. If you don't see them, send me a message and I'll send you a direct link to them. Other than that, I am at 211 subscribers as of this video, and I'm doing this early because I'm more excited to do the videos. I have more time to do the videos. 211 is not bad. I do believe that we're going to actually announce today that I will be doing a giveaway. I have some arena codes for the Walking Dead Secret Lair and for the, what was it, I got it right here. Whatever Secret Lair this was. The Ethereal Stargazing. I have 1 arena code for that and 4 for the Walking Dead. And what I'm going to announce today is that we're going to go ahead and put that up as a prize for when we hit 300 subscribers. I will go ahead and put one of them up as a random giveaway to one lucky winner. So start sending this out there and get it out there. I will go ahead and announce it on the Facebook page, and I don't know exactly how we're going to determine who will get it, but I will definitely start working on that this week. So that's official. So 300 subs, somebody gets a arena code. So start getting this stuff out there. Let them know. I will go ahead and put that out there as well. But anyway, for the week, that is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are new again, please go ahead and subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber or just somebody who's seen my videos before, thank you. It shows the support that I really like. It's very encouraging, and I will see you guys next week.